was August 27th, and it was a Wednesday. Chris was putting on his boots and his jacket and getting ready to go for another bike ride. He loved biking through the mountains of Puerto Vallarta, and he just loved riding. And I wasn't a fan. But yeah, as he was strapping up, I was watching him from the kitchen. And something just felt different. Caught me staring at him, and it's like, what's wrong? And I just looked back at him, and I was like, be careful, okay? He's like, I will. Where are you going? Down by San Pancho's. Okay. You going with the guys? Yeah. I'll be okay. Okay. And he left. I got a text from him a little bit later, just having something to eat with the guys before they went off. All right. Ride safe. It was later in the afternoon, and I was on my laptop, and a Facebook message came through. It was one of his friends, and he had told me that Chris was in an accident. Immediately, I think I threw the laptop off of me. I got up. My dad happened to have been there. He was staying with us, and I told my dad, I'm like, Chris has been in an accident. We gotta go. We gotta go. And I didn't know where I was going, but I called his phone, just thinking, you know, he'd kind of been in a couple of just little scrapes here and there before, and I called his phone, and they picked up, and it's like, are you okay? What's going on? Are you okay? And I could hear the voice on the other end, and it just didn't register that it wasn't Chris that was talking to me. It was his friend. He told me, Mindy, this isn't Chris. You know, we're waiting for the ambulance, you know. He let me know that some of Chris's friends were gonna come meet me and pick me up. And that seemed like an eternity. And I just felt like I had to get to him. I had to get to him, and nothing was fast enough. And where he was up in the mountains in Vallarta, I just knew that, you know, it's so hard for an ambulance to get up there with the traffic. And I was panicking. And right away I went to Facebook, because I've seen so many other people that have gone into, you know, accidents or something has happened, you know, you reach out to Facebook, and you kind of have this thing in your head like, you know, everything's going to be okay. I'm going to tell everybody, and everyone's going to rally around you, and everything will be okay. And had in my head already, you know, I was like, wow, whatever happens, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna look after him. You know, he's probably gonna need some time off of work. It's okay. You know, everything will be okay. And I already had it going in my head, you know, already the future of, you know, the road to recovery. Things were gonna be okay. And we ended up just going straight to the hospital instead, because it just made no sense for us to go up into the mountains. By the time the ambulance got to the hospital, I had been waiting there, oh gosh, I don't know. It felt like maybe, it felt like an eternity, but I think it was maybe more about 2 hours had gone by already, maybe more. The ambulance pulled up, and they opened the doors, and I came out, and, you know, I was expecting, you know, it's okay, like, I'll be okay. I was expecting him to be be okay. And I looked at his eyes, and they were just lifeless. He was unconscious, and as my eyes met his, and I scanned the rest of his body as they were taking him out, and then I looked at his foot, and it was just pale, almost like just a cool tinge to it. He went behind the doors, and that was that. It wasn't good. He had basically his whole left side was crushed. Femur broken, this broken, that broken, bleeding in the brain. Came out again a little while later, and said things were okay, things are getting better. Okay, just keeping everyone posted on Facebook, and everyone kept rallying behind, and kept sitting there hoping for the best. Already had it running in my head, it's going to be okay, we're going to get through this. He's probably not going to be able to walk for a little while, that's okay, like I'll do whatever, I'll cook, make sure, help him bathe, whatever, like let's just get through this, okay, just a little bit longer. And the doctor came out again, and it got worse. And the doctor came out, and that was going to be the final update. He died. He died from his injuries, and the whole world slips out from underneath your feet. And I lied on the ground, and I screamed, and I cried, and I cried, and I screamed. And I just wanted the whole ground to swallow me up. Waking up the next morning, there was roosters at where my friend lived, and normally something that sounds so pleasant just sounded so empty and cold. And you're living in such a beautiful place, and there's so much color and vibrancy, and everything is just dull and lifeless. I spent a good portion of my nights wanting to die. I was taking Valium to sleep and this other type of liquid Valium to sedate myself for most of the remaining hours of the day that I wasn't sleeping. The littlest thing would set me off. Hearing another motorcycle would set me off, and there was a lot of them. I just didn't want to live anymore. So many people say, what they think they would do or what they would do when their significant other were to pass away, and you go through all of that. You really feel like half of you is just missing. It's gone. I would have taken on broken bones and disease and everything to still have him there with me. Not wanting to live is no way to live life when you're grieving. Not everyone understands why, you're still grieving, or, they have a different view of things. It's definitely a different way of life around death, and and I think that helped get me through, although at the time it was a little shocking because everyone just said that's life, and life moves on and you move on, and I still felt very stuck, and all I wanted to know was when I would stop feeling like this. What was the timeline? And you come to learn that there really is no timeline with grief. People say, well, it's been so many months or whatever, it should be okay by now, And it's not. Grief is very personal for everyone. And I grieved, but I grieved in my own way, and I had lost a lot of weight. I wasn't eating at all, and now I understand why. I never really clued in why people make food at funerals. Because you really have no desire to cook or feed yourself. And I'm pretty sure I was barely eating 1,000 calories a day for quite some time. So I made it back into the gym, and a song would come on and I just have to leave the gym. But then it got to the point where things got a little bit better, and a song would come on and I would push a little harder. Even if people saw me crying in the gym, I just didn't care. I just wanted to be there because it just felt like the only thing that I still had. I knew I had to get better, and I knew I had to get stronger. I'd slowly weaned myself off the Valium, stopped taking the drops during the day, and I stopped contemplating death with looking at all the alcohol that was in my cupboards and the pack of Valium that was in my hands. And I attended a shaman healing ceremony and experienced ayahuasca, which helped me deal with my grief, allowed me to grieve, and helped to shed light on the guilt, and that, you know, I didn't have to have any guilt over that. And I truly feel it helped with my healing process, and I started to get a little bit better, started to eat more. I was back eating more food, and you know, I sought out a medium, a well-trusted medium. I had a lot of friends on Facebook reach out to me about her as well, and I saw her, and it may not be everybody's thing, or if you believe it's just hocus pocus, you know, when you're hanging on to threads, you know, and you have so many unanswered questions. We had only been married for 2 months, and we didn't even get the chance to make it a legal wedding. It was just one of those spiritual, what they call spiritual weddings, and yeah, we didn't get a chance to make it legal. There was just so many things, just so many. Your life just feels like it just ends, and I was able to finally get closure through that and feel like I can move on. And you come to learn that, yeah, you know, everyone's in this life for a reason. You come across people, you come through, you know, different relationships, and no matter how long or small, you know, I was married for 2 months, and when you're with someone for 6 years, you know, when you're at that stage in your life, you don't really think about, you know, well, what if it's all going to be gone tomorrow? You expect, you know, 70s, 80s, you know, you'll get to live a full life, but our relationship together, it was, you know, just over 6 years, and he came into my life for a reason, I came into his life for a reason, and, you know, that was the end of the road for him on this earth, and I still had to keep going. You know, I still had my life to live, and the best way to honor those that have passed is to live a full life. And that's what I promised to do. So if you've been through loss and if you're grieving, know that it's just okay to take however long you need, no matter what anyone tells you, what they think. You know, losing a child is different, losing a parent is different, losing a friend is different, losing a spouse is different. Every situation is different and unique, and only you can know when you're okay to move on. And not everyone needs to understand your reasons behind anything that you do to heal yourself and to feel better, because it's all up to you. And yeah, just keep living life, and just know that it's okay to move on when you're ready. My name is Mindy Harley, and I'm possible.